without an Eric Bischoff or a Jamie Kellner who's quoted in the book, or a Harvey Schiller or Vince Russo or Kevin Sullivan, Kevin Nash, any big name that you want to mention, without those people having their perspective included in the book, of course, there would have been several gaping holes there, right? If everyone's talking about Eric Bischoff, for example, constantly throughout the chapters, but we never actually hear from Eric himself, that would probably limit the effectiveness of the story. So I would say that. I would also say timing had a lot to do with it, because the book came out initially, although, as you mentioned, we reissued the book in 2021 with the hardcover edition, the expanded edition. But the book came out at a time when a number of those people were actually available for interviews, because there was a period after the Monday Night Wars where a lot of the key sort of principal subjects were either not talking, or they were under contract to WWE, or they were under contract to TNA at the time. So that is to say, the book probably couldn't have been made in, let's say, 2005, 2006, right? It was almost like enough time had to go by to where a lot of the key subjects were available. And also enough time had to go by for people to sort of put into context what this whole phenomena actually was, as it relates to WCW and the Monday Night Wars more generally. And of course, in the immediate aftermath of the company closing down, there was just so much negativity, and rightfully so, really, about WCW, based in large part on the fact that the last 18 months to 2 years of the programming was just like a fever dream. And so people just were sort of in disbelief at how quickly this whole thing imploded, and the fashion in which it did. But I think by 2017, 2018, enough time had gone by where, keep in mind the network had just been launched a few years prior. People had a chance to go back, watch the old shows, and actually say, you know what, the last 18 months or so was crazy, but this company actually did some amazing things. And at its peak, Nitro in particular was a phenomenal program. And so, I think it's a number of things, but I always give the credit to those people who took part, and again, give credit to luck and timing having a lot to do with it. And then finally, I would just say, I think what makes any creative endeavor impactful, and you probably find this in terms of what you're doing as well, Ben, is just having a genuine curiosity about the subject, and an honest desire to try to do it the right way. And that's how I approach the book as well. As you mentioned, this thing is a beast, right? It's 550, 600 pages. I wasn't going to devote all of this time to writing about something that I didn't care about. So I think the fact that, I came into the project with a genuine desire to answer some of these questions that myself and a lot of other fans from back then had, and present something new as it related to the WCW story, that's really what propelled it, I think, to have the impact it did.